We are here to talk with John Schott, the president of Epic Systems, about how his company makes decisions in record time. John, thank you so much for agreeing to speak with me today.
Well, thanks, Molly. I think I first heard this term back in business school. It's called the Delphi method. First thing you do is you clearly identify who is going to make the decision. Second thing you do is whoever that person is, they surround themselves with every expert that's needed to weigh in on that decision. If it's done properly, people honestly say what they think, whether they agree with the person next to them, whether they disagree. Some person weighs in it. Here's another person say something. It changes their opinion. We go around the table a couple times. Everybody has an open, honest input that comes from an expertise that the next person doesn't.
And what if you don't have an expert in that relevant area? What do you do then?
We phone a friend, as it were. We work really hard to associate ourselves with the best and brightest in the industry. We know people that do distillation. We know people that are business risk management experts. And so we say, okay, who needs to weigh in on this for us to make the proper decision?
How do you think this differs, this decision-making process, from that of other companies?
I worked for a large company for about 10 years out of school, and it was a good company, but there's this team concept. If team meant that people are going to work collaboratively and then a decision maker was going to make a decision in a timely way, that's a good thing. If team means that a number of people are going to get together that are afraid to say what they really think because of all kinds of organizational pressures and politics, and at the end of that, there's no clear decision maker, well, then it's not a good thing. So, unfortunately, that's what happens in a lot of organizations. People sit around for hours discussing something, but nobody ever comes to a decision. What I would submit to you, in an organization that needs to be really fast response, we practice an autocratic system, which means that there is a clear decision maker. The decision maker can have veto power. Listen to he or she can listen to everybody in the room and make whatever decision they feel based on all of that, because we all sit in different seats. We all have different perspectives. We all have different views of the organization. Typically, the decision maker, which doesn't have to always be me, it just depends on what we're talking about in the organization. That decision maker's not afraid to make a decision. While that decision might not have been the one that they made,
the participants are okay with this more autocratic method.
You know, it all depends if you're really true to sincerely valuing another person's opinion. It's about feeling like a valued member of the organization whose input matters.
Now, how does this ultimately affect or help the client?
We put a lot of emphasis here on speed of response. Here's an example. Say you're Procter & Gamble and you are coming out with a new product you want to be first to market with. How fast can you get it on the shelves? And this organization is optimized. It is continually scrutinized for how can we be faster response to the client.
Well, thank you so much for your time, John. I really appreciate it.
Okay, Molly, thank you.